Friday, 18th of July 2025. I'm gonna narrow my focus today with the Nasdaq and S&P only. I'm not going to talk about the dollar index or if these are the pairs, and we're going to do mostly tape reading. It's not really an interesting Friday with my emotions. I didn't really feel like doing this, but you know, like it, don't like it. Markets are still gonna trade. They're still going to go where you expect them to go to. So you better avail yourself here and try to predict this market every single day, every single session, if you can. So this is the morning session. The time is we've just opened the silver bullet time period. That is the morning session in the New York session. Silver bullet, that is from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the New York session. My time here is 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So I'm going to stay for like an hour and 15-minute time to read this 1 hour. It's simply 1 hour, 4 15-minute candles. We've just opened the first 15-minute candle and it's right here. So if you look at the 15-minute time frame, we've been trading higher for the most part of this week, and we are at 23,000. We entered 23,000 yesterday on my CFDs and on my chart, and right now we're trading at 23,107. So this too much of a premium. I've talked about that. If you look at the daily chart, this kind of like we opened up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Went above this buy side on Tuesday. I talked about this week here on Wednesday and Thursday. We ran into that buy side, and now we are here trading at a deep premium. I don't really think we're gonna go any further higher. I'm just thinking that this is too much on a premium on a Friday, and if I predicted my weekly candlestick to end up higher, we're gonna come up the weekly high and we're gonna trade into the close, and that's going to be our main thing this evening. My time is evening. So my interest in Nasdaq lies on this sell side, together with this sell side. I outlined that way before. So if you look at the 1 minute chart, this is the sell side liquidity pool here that I'm talking about. This is the relative equal lows that I've talked about, and we are going to those relative equal lows now with the first silver bullet macro. So if you notice here, we have the first presented fair value gap for this opening price for index futures, and then this is London's first presented fair value gap, and then this is today's Asian first presented fair value gap. So this is the premium here, and this is the discount. If you notice the range from this sell-side liquidity pool here that has just been engaged right now, that is 23,100, and from this first presented fair value gap low, that is 23,134. So from 134 you have an opportunity for 30 points to 100 to make the 30 points that we're talking about. So we've gone below this sell side. I'm gonna dim this. So my bias today is bearish. My session bias is bearish. It's really simple to come up with these kind of ideas. It needs a lot of tape reading, and yeah, that is all it needs. So we opened up right on this down close candle here at 4:30 my time, but in the New York session is 9:30 a.m. And then we ran up into that London's first presented fair value gap. Remember, we ran this buy sell liquidity pool earlier. This is the first signature that is telling me we're not going to go any more higher. So if you notice the bodies here, they were formed on this London's first presented fair value gap. So this is weakness. As we were trading down here, I was looking at the first presented fair value gap, and I did not really like to see this candlestick to close on the upper portion of this first presented fair value gap. But they breached that, and I was still waiting. So I talked about I wanted to see a swing high, and immediately we had this swing high here trading into this first presented fair value gap, and immediately it closed here, going into this candlestick here. That is 450. That's the first silver bullet macro. We're trading inside the first presented fair value gap. There's a sell around the 140 area, then aiming for this relative equal lows here below 23,100. So we had this candlestick here 452, It was a very nice candlestick that comes from the first present for World Cup. The opening price for this candlestick is, if you notice down here, the opening price for this candlestick here is 23,136, and the closing price is 23,113. So from 136 to 113, those are 23 points just inside this candlestick here, 23 points. And then if you let it trade into 23,100.2, those are another points. So we trade down fast, and then look at the time here. The time here is 5. That is now the start of the silver bullet. Runs up into the first present of a World Cup for today, that premium, and then eventually we offer weakness and take the sell side liquidity pool here below 23,100. Beautiful, beautiful price delivery from this point here. That is 23,134, 23,100. Beautiful, beautiful delivery right there. So you must wait for this kind of signatures to come to you before you start predicting where price is going to trade into. And this is the kind of entries that you want to be looking for. So we run this high here, the buy side liquidity pool here. This is the London high. We run it right here. That is the exact high is on 3,158. 3,158. We run that high right there pre-session. That is the 428 candlestick, just 2 minutes before we open. This was the first signature I've talked about, that idea. It was the first signature that we're not going to go higher. And if you look at ES, it's a lot weak. It did not take out the London high. It's a lot weak. So I like this one here because Nasdaq normally performs better and it's a lot more volatile. Let's go to US 500 and look at this here. So US 500 is a little different because it's a lot weak. You can see here we did not take out the London high. We just traded into this 15-minute premium, and then we had this swing high here. So we ran lower, trade higher into this high here, and then trade outside this 15-minute efficiency, trading lower. So this is the midnight New York opening price. If you look at the New York session opening price, is around here, right there. So we are above the opening prices. These are shorts. We're aiming for this sell side liquidity pool resting here. Of course, US 500 is a lot weak. I expect it to run into this sell side liquidity pool below here, and then run into that 15-minute discount PDRA. This is again supposed to be white. So sell for US 500, 6,303.8. That's where the sell side resides. So we're gonna look at that and study this 5-minute chart. So this is the discount 15-minute that I'm talking about. So this is sell side liquidity right there. So I'm going to take this screenshot for Nasdaq. This is just a beautiful price action today using only the fast presented for World Cups. This is London's fast presented for World Cup, and this is Asia. Yeah, Asia's fast presented for World Cup. This is London's fast presented for World Cup. So we were trading around here. We opened up in Asia's fast presented for World Cup in this discount, trading higher into that London's fast presented for World Cup. Look at the support of the bodies here. The wicks ran that buy side, then we're trading lower. So I want to take this screenshot right here. And then I'm going to call this 18th of 2025. I'm going to call that. So let's send this here. So if you look at this here, This is the screenshot, first present Fibonacci gap here, ran higher, swing high here, beautiful, start running lower. We open here exactly at 5. Was there medium impact news for today? No. So we open right here at 5, volatility comes in, right into that first present Fibonacci gap premium once more time, once more time. Wow. Once more, and then we ran into this discount relative to lows, sales and equity resting below 23,100. This has been so far the move for the session. Let me take another screenshot. This one is way better. So this has been the move for this morning session ideally, and you can see this here. You can explain this here, and it's normally 1 or 2 trades for you to take here. So we're trading right now at 23,900. Are we now gonna go lower? Where is the objective for today? This inefficiency here. So ideally we're supposed to be aiming for this 15-minute inefficiency, that is 23,063. If you run that down, we are running into 23,050. If we're really weak, we're gonna go into 23,050. So our focus today is primarily NAS 100. So we're going to study how it wants to reach into this 15-minute buy-side imbalances and efficiency right here. Every 15 minutes that this candlestick chart forms, we're going to see and study, how fast does it want to reach into this inefficiency here. So all the ideas that are coming to my mind is the TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. It's ICT taught this a while ago, I think in 2023 or 2024. It taught that when the weekly range, when we are bullish and we are expecting the weekly range to be bullish, then at the end of the week we anticipate that draw from that high of the candlestick on the week into the low. Normally a bullish week is normally like this. We have this, maybe it's the opening price, then we have the body of the candlestick that goes up when we are bullish, and then we have the high, and then normally it comes over the high and closes. So normally after we've had the opening price, there's normally a adjacent that normally goes lower to form the low, and this is how basically a bullish week is formed. This is not a typical bullish week. This is how it's formed. Opening price, we trade to the low, we go higher to the close. We're applying this here on the weekly candlestick. So we already opened. If you look at the 1 hour chart here in this regard, if you look at this 1 hour chart, this is the weekly candlestick idea. So we opened right here with the new week opening gap, ran lower to form the weekly low. That's right here, and then we managed to trade higher. Monday we went higher, Tuesday we went higher and lower, and then Wednesday we were trading inside this range, and then yesterday very huge bullish week that formed a new high and a weekly high, and then going into today's price action going to London, we've traded into that high, forming another new weekly high. New York session opens, it runs that high out. That's the first signature that we're going to trade into these lows. So if you can see here, we've managed to trade into 23,063. The low of this candlestick is 23,061. Beautiful. So we've managed to form the body right here throughout the week, and we're coming off of the high, trading into that close of the weekly. So if you apply this logic and you realize today's Friday, we've taken the buy side here, and what are we what price is going to do is trade back into the range of that weekly candlestick. So our bias for today, our session bias, morning session bias, is bearish, and you can see how we've managed to get these trade from this fast present fair value gap, trading into this 15-minute discount PDRA right here, 23,062. So this range from this fast present fair value gap low is 23,134.7, and you can see how we managed to get into 23,064, 63.4. A lot of handles right here, more like 70 points. Beautiful. But from this here, the low hanging fruit is these relative equal lows here. There were 30 points right here, and then another 30 points to 40 points trade into this 15-minute efficiency. Basically, this can be all I've been anticipating for this morning. After it has done this, the rest I don't really know where it will manage to trade into. So I want to take again this screenshot for my later studies. So I want to take the screenshot, and then I'll take another screenshot where I have the 15-minute candlestick chart and this 1 minute right here, and then I'm gonna take this 15-minute efficiency, the one that was an objective. Then we're gonna do these. So that's really it with this. So after we've gone lower, I don't really know what how much it can retrace. Sometimes it can retrace all through this range, but where our focus is this 15-minute chart. So it's 519. We're still inside the silver bullet time period. If you look at the 1 hour, look at the way it's weak. It's so weak. Again, we have this bicycle balances and efficiency of the 1 hour. Very, very important. I really have no idea why would anyone be going long at such a day. In such a day, I don't really understand. Anybody going long today, I don't really understand why they would be going long on a Friday. Is I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe they don't really understand the formation of that weekly chart, of that weekly candlestick. Maybe they don't know how it is formed. I mean, it's so much. It's really easy logic. I've seen other weeks close on the high, exactly on the very high, and that is the close. But I don't really think that today is gonna be that day. Looking at the 15 chart, the way it's behaving, look at the discount PDRAs, the way the BCs are open. I don't really think it's gonna be that day. So we're trading at 23,080s. 23,080s. We've come up with the low after trading to that discount 15-minute efficiency. Let's see how much of our premium will lead money to start trade higher, or it might just retrace back a little bit and then take out that low below 23,050s. If it books 23,050, it will be a very nice idea. Let's look at US 500. Beautiful, beautiful run to that sell side. Right? So we managed to go below this low here. Nice, beautiful run to that sell side, and then trading into this 15-minute. I've just mentioned this 15-minute inefficiencies. And you can see, look at this 1 minute. Beautiful, beautiful delivery from that premium, that discount. First present fair value gap for today in this pair was formed without a gap. it was formed right here. So we decide to take this here as the first present for World Cup. I mean, it's all right. We obviously did not go into that London one, so you can see why we open, and then we start trading through that inefficiency of a sell side into that discount sell side. So this is 18th of July 2025. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this 1 minute together with the it's 15 minute right there. That's the inefficiency right here. And this inefficiency is this outside the balance price inefficiency. So we ran into that and then offer that around lower. So we're gonna take that screenshot and then study later. And then look at NE, NQ, and ER side by side. So we've retraced higher in NAS 100, and now we've gone back into this 15 minute. I want to see it run into this, run below this low, and the midpoint of that 15 minute is right there at 20,055. So we're gonna flash that 50 point right here, 20,050. So all these decisions, they're being made by myself, by my experience. I'm talking about them. Trading has really been difficult. Tape reading is easier to me. Tape reading is easier than the real putting positions on and trying to risk the life funds. It's really not easy. It's really not easy. This week I've managed to predict the market very nicely in the afternoon session and this morning session. Those are the only two times I can remember I've tried to predict the market, and it has gone to where I anticipated to go into. So I think I've built a model inside my head, but the thing is, talking about it has been a bigger challenge to me. It has been a bigger challenge because this thing needs a lot of work and a lot of talking. So look at what we're trading into. We're trading at 3,059 now. You must wake up, take this screenshot of the chart if you've not done so, and talk about what you think the market is going to do. Because when you talk about it, it really goes to where you are expecting it to go into most times, depending on the day, depending on the week and such. You always know. Look at that, 23,050. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Look at this 15 minute. So we're still falling lower. Let's see if we'll go into 23,040s, maybe hit 23,000 because we have another inefficiency down here. We're trading at 40 now. In 2040. So you talk about these things like you knew it was going to happen. Like you knew it was going to happen. But I knew. I knew. I talked about all this stuff. Look at London's past present favor. Look at that premium. You can see how we hit it with the body. Look at the bodies went lower once present favor. Look up. I said I'm waiting for a swing low high. I mean a swing high here. offer lower prices. Where is the sell side relative equal lows here? Relative equal lows here, and that's the new week of new day opening gap right there. It's not really shown here, but it's right there. So that new day opening gap draws price lower, and then we end up into this 15-minute discount PDR right here. So I think it has really done enough for this morning session. Very easy logic idea that has been presented here from where I anticipated to trade from that premium to where I anticipated to go into that discount. And the bias has been bearish. Everything else is pointing to lower prices, and look at how it delivers. I don't really want to include the new day, opening range gap. I don't want to include that new day opening gap. That those will be a lot of details being presented here on this chart, and I don't really want to make it dirty. I've just used the fast present fair value gap for today. London's fast present fair value gap. Today's fast present fair value gap. Look at the delivery here, beautiful. And then Asia's fast present fair value gap. Look at the opening price here. And we went lower, offering lower prices. Look at the 1 hour chart. This is the 5 o'clock. That is the 10 o'clock and the New York time candlestick volatility. And where does it trade into? Lower, offering lower prices into this range here from yesterday's run higher into that premium. New weekly high, we're trading to that weekly close, and you will see where we close with today's price action. It will be very, very phenomenal. Very, very phenomenal where we close today. So I'm not really going to stay here for longer, anytime longer. I've addressed my main concern this morning, and I think this is really enough for if I were to trade this pair here. This is really enough. This is 30 points from 23,134, 134, say 130 level. Then aiming for this low here, these are 30 points. That's what I'd normally look for. So I think we're gonna see what we'll have in the afternoon session. And I'm going to describe what I anticipate going into next week. I'm going to talk about the dollar index, these other pairs in the afternoon session. So if we come back into afternoon session, I find that price has gone above this high here. I'll obviously be looking for lower prices. If I find price on these inside this range here, still inside yesterday's range, I'm not really sure where we will close. We might close on this old high here. We might close on the new day opening gap. We might close on either of these 1 hour midpoints. So it's a lot of variables. But if I come in the afternoon session and I find price on a new all-time high, I'll also be looking for lower prices. I'll be looking for lower prices. I'll not be looking for higher prices today. At no circumstance I'm looking for bullish prices today. None. So I'm looking for only weaker prices. So I think that's really it. I don't really want to talk a lot. Let's look at US 500. Look at where we're trading into. Weak prices, right? Look at the 1 hour. So beautiful. So I think that's really it. Until next time, adios.